You are now tuning in to the Evolution Daily Podcast. Hey, what's up, boys? So you're about to listen to an incredible podcast I did with my buddy Elon Muscular. We talk, this is the most profound fitness podcast I've ever even heard, let alone listened to. This dude really knows his stuff. Pretty much starting at like the 30-minute mark, we start really getting deep into gear. We start talking about, enhanced athletes, essentially. But listen to the whole episode. And real quick, I just want to say, this is the first episode where I've now committed to doing 2 episodes a week. And we had a major audio issue, major issue. So I did record like very professional audio and professional video and everything. But then I messed it up, and it really sucks. It's been something I've been working on for hours, actually, but it's still fine. It's just not what I wanted it to be. So the quality is just going to continue to go up. This will really be the last episode where it's just like a straight up Zoom call with audio coming out of my AirPods, which again, it's no big deal. It's no big deal, but I just wanted to cover that. So if you guys are listening to this on your iPhone, do me a quick favor, leave us a 5-star review. Again, we're banging out 2 free episodes every single week, every Wednesday, every Sunday, probably from now until, let me think, the day that I die, more than likely. Leave us a review on iTunes, just 5 stars, and say something funny. Be like, Aaron's new haircut's great. Aaron's a piece of shit. Nobody should ever listen to this fucking guy, but make sure you leave 5 stars. The 5 stars is important. So, all right, guys, enjoy this episode. You guys are absolutely going to love it. Enjoy. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Evolution Daily Podcast. I am here with the keto kid himself. This guy lives and dies for the ketogenic diet. I think he takes it a little over the top sometimes with how much he loves it. I think it's good. My audience knows I am doing keto right now. I'm doing keto 6 days a week, and then on the 7th day I binge. And I was just telling you as we were beginning that on Sunday I had an entire pizza, a lot of beer, and actually 3 chocolate donuts. So that got pretty intense, but I'm leading out quickly. Now, in all seriousness, guys, this is Elon Muscular, which is easily one of the best names in the entire fitness industry. I mean, I don't know where that came from. Your first name is actually Elon, right?
Yeah, my first name is Elon. One of my friends actually called me Elon Muscular, like a joke. And then when I went to go make this, brand or whatever you want to call it, I was like, what do I call this? A lot of different influencers have, different handles in their names and stuff. My last name is very not appealing. So I just went with it, and it seems to be getting good feedback so far. I'm fighting for the search term, over pictures of The Rock with Elon Muscular's face photoshopped on it. But
Yeah, no, it's good branding, man. It's something that I think a lot of people are going to hear even one time and then kind of remember forever, honestly. So now when your message is on point with all of that, tied into it, I think it's going to be good for you in the long run. So you actually, you coach guys primarily with bodybuilding, right? You're working with guys that want to hit stage. What kind of clients are you usually working with?
Yeah, so I have my own podcast called the Bodybuilding Lifestyle Podcast. I've been a bodybuilder for a long time. That's what I say because I believe that bodybuilding is the foundation of changing your body, changing your physique. So I really like to pay homage to bodybuilding, and that's like the roots of where I learned all this stuff. But what I call myself, I'm an online fitness and bodybuilding coach. I don't coach competitions. I'm not trying to get on the stage. I don't work with anybody that's, going for a competition. I work with people to use bodybuilding principles, whether it be through diet training or bodybuilding chemistry, which I'm well versed in as well, to help change their physiques as quickly as possible with as little effort as possible, basically as efficiently as possible. So all stops off, like you come to me, you want to achieve a certain type of physique, we're going to help get you to that point and change your lifestyle to make that happen. Whatever tools we need to use, I'm open to anything.
It's just so important, man. I think the knowledge is one thing, everything that you have to offer them as far as diet and knowledge and wisdom. But I just think even with pickup, with everything, if you really want to tell the universe, yo, I'm serious about this shit, if you want to put that energy out into the world, get a goddamn coach. People are so averse to coaching because they say everything's available for free online. You're probably holding these guys accountable, probably doing check-ins all the time. It's a big deal. Do your clients talk about the accountability factor?
The problem with getting information for free online is you're going to waste so much time looking at like stuff that you might follow me, you might follow 10 other fitness people, and we might all say something different. And if you just listen to one guy, you will definitely get results. If you just find that one guy and you consume all of his content for free, if you go on my page and consume everything that I have to say for free, and you really follow along and take notes on everything I'm saying and watch every video, yeah, you could probably piece it together yourself if you have some kind of common sense. But the problem is that most guys actually are being coached, but not custom coached by like 10 different people. And they'll do one thing one week, another thing another week. They'll always fall into these different habits and stuff like that. So the real value with coaching and fitness coaching and pickup coaching as well is you have somebody that you can ask questions, that provides a framework for you, that makes sure that you get a straight line to your results. Whatever their method is, you buy in. And that's the real big thing. It's accountability, of course, and it's the knowledge, of course, but it's also the methodology that the person brings to the table. And I have a very specific methodology. If you work with me, you're going to do it my way, and we're going to make sure you do it the way that I know how it works. And then there's no way in which you're not going to get results. Like, you're going to get results. It's just simple biology at that point.
Yeah, I've said over the years in various pieces of content, and I'll get a little backlash on this, but I say over the years, I'll be like, don't watch anybody else anymore. Only watch my videos. And part of that is like a narcissistic joke, but then another part of it actually kind of is a lot of what you're talking about here. It's why it's you do need to, there's a major aspect to the buy-in and almost to the brainwashing. That's what I talk a lot about when it comes to law of attraction is, dude, it doesn't matter whether law of attraction is real or not. It's completely fucking irrelevant whether there's universal sources out there that are actually affecting, the manifestation of your desires or whatever. If you can just ultimately brainwash yourself with that type of content and then also stack action with it, it's going to yield you positive results. So I do like that idea of not getting too diversified and going all over the place. Now, dude, you roasted me viciously the other day. So I did your podcast about 3-4 days ago. That episode is going to be up here soon, and that was a lot of fun. I really love talking fitness, man. It's fun, as a former 290-pound slob who is now, just like a 214-pound, not
Hunk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to call myself, I don't like to say that I'm the next Arnold. I don't like to say I'm a Greek god over here or anything like that, but I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I love talking fitness. So, bro, you do not fuck with the ketogenic diet, and I'm open to hearing you out on this, and I would love for you to share with my audience because, as you're very well aware, and you talked about it in a video the other day, the keto diet is probably one of that and intermittent fasting are like the two most probably hyped up diets in the world, I would say. So what would you say is like your arguments against keto?
So I'm not saying that ketogenic diets don't work to lose weight. Actually, I would say that they definitely do work to lose weight. And there's a lot of different ways in which a ketogenic diet makes it easier for somebody who does not know what they're doing at all to lose weight. Because it's very simple, because you're creating a lot of limitations for yourself, like we're talking about. Sometimes the fastest way to a goal is to create a ton of different limitations and only do one very specific thing. So with keto, you're basically changing your entire lifestyle. If you're a fat guy, or an out of shape guy, and suddenly you don't eat carbohydrates at all, you've been eating, Pop-Tarts, pizza, popcorn, you've been eating all this bullshit for a really long time. So suddenly you cut all that out, you're going to lose weight. That's common sense, right? But the problem with the ketogenic diet is that you are creating such a drastic shift and you're buying into something that is not sustainable. Like, I don't believe that people should lose weight in a way that they can't keep the weight off. And the reason that I say this is because I've been on this fitness journey, you know, for almost 10 years now. I've seen a lot of people. I worked as a personal trainer. I've seen so many different people go through body transformations and stuff like that. And ketogenic diets work, but they are the number one most unsustainable diet that I've seen. People who go on ketogenic diets usually gain the weight back, or if not all the weight, some of the weight back, at least a good chunk of the weight back. And they never get that six pack and that real chiseled body that they're looking for, because you're not going to stay on no carbs forever. So you have to learn how to do it with the carbs in. Then once you know how to do it with the carbs in and with all the factors in, then you can stay there. And once you get lean, that's the best place to add muscle. And you're not going to add muscle unless you have carbs in either. So you're basically like cutting off one of your legs and limping to the end of the race. And then once you get there, you got there, but now there's another race, you know what I mean? And now you only have one leg. So that's my problem with ketogenic diets. It's not that they don't work in the short term. It's just that they're unsustainable. That's why when I coach guys, I'm trying to create a framework where when you leave my coaching, or, you know, we work together for 3, 6, 9 months, whatever, after that, you understand how to eat and you can lose fat, put on muscle, and manipulate your body however you want. And it's really, really easy once you understand how basic biology works. And it does not require changing your body's fuel system to fat. Your body's fuel system should be carbs. It should always be carbs. And you want to train your body how to use the carbohydrates in order to build muscle or reduce them. And as soon as you reduce them, it starts shredding off fat. That's how the body should work. It should not be running on fats. That's not efficient.
Why do so many people, and I know some of it's marketing, some people are lying, sometimes it's bullshit, but why do so many people thrive off of these diets? There's a guy named Lex Friedman, who MIT professor, like genius guy, he's been on Rogan a bunch, has his own podcast. This dude, I don't know exactly whether it's, 7 days a week or what, but he just claimed on his podcast the other day, I haven't listened to him too much, he said that he's been on keto for 10 years and just never really has a craving and all of that. It's like, why is that guy able to function so well off of it, but yet, there's going to be people that are bouncing back and forth and all of this?
I mean, there's a difference between functioning and surviving and having a really good, like, ripped physique where you can bench press, 225 pounds for reps and you're just like really in great shape all the time. Like, I don't know what this guy looks like. I mean, someone can definitely function.
Not jacked. He's not jacked.
Yeah, he's not jacked. So, like, okay, like, he lives without carbohydrates. He never eats carbohydrates and he's not jacked. Like, okay, like, that's awesome. Like,
right.
If that's what you want, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. When it comes to muscle, and you and I talked about this on your podcast the other day, I've been on, I was on the fasted workout train for a little while, and just watching too many videos that are saying, how, oh, it taps into the fat even more because you haven't eaten yet, and this and that, whatever. I don't know how much validity there is to that or not, but the point is that what I found was that my workout sucked. I was dying halfway through. I had no stamina. I couldn't put up as much weight. And so I kind of was getting to this place where I'm like, dude, I'm about to pass out from low blood sugar at the gym. What am I really gaining here from doing this? And even really when I've been going to the gym while on keto, I do feel a lot of those same effects. And then as soon as I switch it up, do a good, have some carbs in there before the workout, it's problem solved. More weight, more stamina, more energy, and all of that. So definitely for guys that are trying to get a good physique. For me right now, I gotta blast away the fat. I gotta blast it away. And for me, what I find to be the biggest benefit, I'll tell you for me, the biggest benefit and then the biggest detriment for me with keto. One major benefit that I get is that even when I'm doing a diet where I'm counting my calories, right? And then I am eating a full palate, I guess, where I do have carbs. I'm having some bread. I'm having a little bit of this and that, whatever. What I find is that because I've been allowing myself that food throughout the day or throughout the week, I crave it more. I crave the bread more. I'm like more likely to kind of break, I find, for me, on those types of diets versus with keto. I actually find it incredibly easy to stick to it, because I'm just like, I know there's these like five foods I can have. The blood sugar is not, I think it's like blood sugar stability a lot of the times for me. Um, and then the big detriment is basically what you talked about a little bit ago, which is actually the non sustainability. So right now, it is very easy for me to stay on the keto. And then I get my binge day once a week. But the second I get on a fucking plane, and that's in February. I got a boot camp coming up. I'm at the airport. I just land. I'm starving. What? I don't want to order a giant ass burger and remove the buns and all that. I end up really like, especially while traveling, and especially if I'm going on like a lot of dates and shit, I will end up falling off the diet. So you are right about the non sustainability of it. I think a lot of people fall off and gain a lot of that weight back.
Well, you touched on a few important things. I think that if you are traveling and stuff like that and you're falling off the diet, and then you're also saying that as you're eating throughout the day, if you have carbohydrates, you're more likely to like cheat on your diet or eat things that aren't on the plan or whatever.
Mm.
So the problem is, keto provides a very simple, like I said, very simple framework for you where you could be retarded and do a keto diet. Like you just eat these five foods. Once you cut out carbohydrates, it's like, that's like 90% of the things that humans eat. So you're basically stuck with like meat, eggs, cheese, and avocados and shit like that. So you're eating such a small variety of food. It's hard to, overeat on that. Right. But
Yeah.
what I try to say is like, you're bought in. The big thing about keto is that you're bought in. You're bought in. You're not eating the carbs. You're eating these five things. Okay. But if you buy into Elon Muscular's, methodology, if you buy into the bodybuilding methodology, which is high protein, high carb, moderate fats, whatever, like the right way to do a diet. And I just made a video on my channel, and I'll just tell you guys briefly, it's so simple. The way that we eat, the way that bodybuilders and fitness professionals eat, every guy on Men's Health, open up any magazine, every guy that you've ever seen on Muscle and Fitness, bodybuilding.com, every single fitness influencer, me, like just anybody who ever got in good shape, an actor for a movie role, The Rock, anybody. You look at their diet, eggs or oatmeal, and eggs and oatmeal for breakfast, then 2 to 4 lean protein, rice and broccoli, some kind of vegetables. And then for dinner, it'll usually be like a steak or like a salmon. And then they may have carbs, they may not have carbs. That's the framework. We're still eating a very limited variety of foods for the most part. We're still on a strict diet for the most part. Like if you come to me and we make this diet, like you're not eating bread, you're not eating donuts, like you're eating this food. It just happens that this food is organized in a way where, yeah, your blood sugar will be stable because you're eating every 3 hours, you're having complex carbohydrates, you're having vegetables, you're high in fiber, you might have a little fats to keep the digestion going. So your blood sugar is stable, your workout performance is optimized, you're eating the best possible diet that's for performance and health. And you just have to buy into that and just understand how that works and fit that into your lifestyle. And it's going to be a little bit more work because it's a little less abstract than just keto. I'll just grab like some cold cuts from the, grocery store and have like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like a tablespoon of peanut butter, like, or some peanuts off the street or some shit. But once you understand like how to structure a diet in the proper way. And the thing is with those diets, they're also a lot more sustainable in that if you miss a meal or whatever, you can understand how to count calories, you can understand how to fast, you can understand how to, when you're on vacation, work around things because your body is still running on normal fuel sources. So when you switch to a burger, you're not going to gain 10 pounds overnight. Like it's your body's ready for the burger. It's actually your metabolism is sped up because you eat carbohydrates on a good pulse every single day. You work out, your muscles are always filled with glycogen. I eat a burger, I wake up the next day leaner and more full because my body's ready for that cheap food because I eat clean food and keep it
Oh,
on a
dude.
clock.
Oh, dude, that bun's gonna make me fucking blow up like a balloon, bro. My face like looks fatter even today just from the binge eating 2 days ago. And goals are important. I can easily 100% say that I am never at my most athletic while I'm on a keto diet. That is an absolute fact. For me, yeah, I guess it's just like the shedding of the fat as fast as I can right now. And then what we talked about that I think is going to provide a lot of value to my audience is then what I said to you is I said, I am bought in. I'm going to do this 6 days a week, 7th-day binge, whatever. I did it in the past. I'm going to keep doing it. Now, when I get down to say 190, okay, so I'm really, I'm at about 210 right now. I weighed at 206 a few days ago. When I get down to 190, I want to live life between 185 and 190. I don't think I need to go much lower than that. What I would like to do is use this keto diet to get all the way down to 185, 190. How can I then start doing more of the Elon Muscular program without ballooning up, gaining all that weight back? What is it? Because this is important, because this is the big this is the moment of death for most people. I did a 4-day fast. I did IF for 6 months. I did this, that, whatever. Then they go back to their bullshit. Or maybe they go back to even a normal diet, but way too fast. So what would you say, how can I not balloon back up once I reach this goal weight?
Well, first of all, great job to you, honestly, down from 214 to 206. That's awesome. And I think that you will reach your goal on the keto diet, and that's great. I'm all about people reaching their goals. Sometimes it's not going to be in the most efficient manner or the most sustainable manner. That's fine. Sometimes in life, we just got to put our foot on the gas, do what we know, and buy in and just fucking get it done, like whatever. And we can like figure it out once we get there. That's fine sometimes, especially in fitness, in business. Sometimes you just got to be like, listen, I don't know how to do this whole bodybuilding diet shit right now. I know how to do the keto diet. I did it before. Let's fucking do it. Let's get lean. And then we'll get the expert opinions and we'll figure it out later, which that's completely fine. I have nothing against that. As long as you reach your goal, I'm happy you're happy. Once you get there, right? You are not going to live on a keto diet, right?
No,
we have to establish a new normal for you. There has to be a new way that you eat where it is sustainable, you have good workout performance, and you're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight. You need to have a maintenance diet that you're comfortable with. And then you need to understand how much flexibility can fit into that diet, right? So every single fitness professional, when we're trying to maintain a look, right, we don't want to necessarily like bulk up. We don't necessarily need to shred down. We're just trying to maintain a look, right? You have to understand what your maintenance calories is, and then you need to eat healthy foods surrounding those maintenance calories. If you need to go out on a date, if you need to drink, if you need to do other stuff, that's fine. You can implement things on like fasting, for example, on those days. So that you're going to go out drinking, which is going to take up more calories. You might skip a meal, push your first meal a little bit later in the day. Once you are kind of eat the same shit every day and you just understand how the diet works, you mentally start to get like, okay, like if I have 3 drinks, it's this many calories. If I eat a piece of pizza, it's that much. I need to cut that out of what I'm doing or do a little bit more cardio the next day, whatever. Like everyone you see that stays lean, they understand the calories in, calories out. They have a healthy, normal baseline. And then you have your flexibility on top of that. So eventually you get to the point where you could do whatever you want, but within the limits of human biology. You can't eat burgers every day, but you can eat them sometimes. You just need to have a baseline, basically. Your problem is you don't have a baseline. Your baseline is being fat, and then your dieting is keto.
That hurts.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just, you know what I mean? Not fat. But
like, no, I know.
It's not as ripped as you would like to be. So you just need to have your baseline needs to change if it's not going to be keto. Like you're saying, that guy lives on a keto baseline. If you don't want to live on a keto baseline, you got to live on some other kind of restrictive baseline if you want to be lean. If you want to have a 6-pack, you're going to have to give something up, right?
Yeah, I don't think the world. I think that once you give me a six pack, I think it's game over just for the world. I made a post a while ago. I said if I got to 6% body fat, I could become president of the United States. To me, this is my final frontier. I feel very confident and good about really everything in my life, and if I could just lean down to either a six pack or something close to it, I think that would be incredible. Now, now working out hard, I will say that the best shape I was ever in, actually. I can say I can actually point to the exact best physique and shape I've ever been in. And it was last summer. And I was taking a SARM. I was taking Cartidrol. So it was LGD 4033 stacked with Cardarine, and I was taking that for about 2 weeks. During that time, I did a diet where all I ate was steak, eggs, and rice. So I got the carbs in there with the rice. I worked out. I went ham every day in the gym. And dude, this was just like a 2 week cut. And during that 2 weeks, man, I looked incredible. And I didn't stick to it. But I know for sure for most guys, there's something to be said for output. This is what T1000 talks about. He does the Evolution Daily Fitness coaching. He talks about output over input, meaning a lot of times you really want to put more of your focus onto that and then not beat yourself up when you had a couple too many cookies, an extra beer. Like you said, go hard at the gym. How many days a week are you in the gym right now?
I work out 4 days a week. That's like my consistency. I try to, everything for me is, I'm about as being as efficient as possible because we don't have that much time in life. And honestly, bro, I don't want to be spending all my fucking time working out. Like it's fun sometimes, but like if you're going to do it for your whole life, I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't love working out so much. Like it's like I'm just like chomping at the bit to do a workout. It's just something that I do. I view it as like I love to have a good physique. I like to train, but if I could look like this without having to train, like fuck yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would. I'd take it. I wouldn't train. A lot. Some people say, oh, I would still train even if it didn't change my body. I wouldn't. No, I would not do that.
Those
It's
people are goddamn liars.
they're either liars or they're sadists. I mean, who wants to go through that shit, right?
Yeah,
um,
yeah. So the 4 days a week, I like that, and I hear a lot about this. So there's Kino Body, I'm sure, a real popular kind of fitness guy, and he talks about this. I believe I've never gotten one of his programs, but I think that he's talked a lot about how he only will, and who knows what he's doing. He's always making videos of him working out in his home gym and all that kind of stuff. But his programs, I believe, actually only prescribe 3 workouts a week. And I follow another guy, Jason something. This dude's the shit, man. Something Jason is nutrition or something. He's real big on CrossFit coaching. He's done a lot of like work with a lot of CrossFit individuals. And I don't know how much you know about this, but something I find interesting that when it comes up is that people are not taking into account their um what is that called? Like their nervous system. There's something with working out and your nervous system that he talks about this, and I believe Kino Body talks about it, where when you're doing 7 days a week because you want to go ham, because the CrossFit games are coming, because this is coming, you're doing a detriment to your body. Do you delve into any of that with any of your clients?
yes, overtraining, it's a huge thing and it is real. And see that it comes from the same issue that, a lot of people face with dieting, training, everything. People will be like, okay, I'm out of shape, right? You look in the mirror, you're like, fuck, okay, I need to cut out all my carbs and I need to train 7 days a week because I'm trying to get in shape and I'm out of shape. You know what I mean? And you think that's going to get you there faster, whatever. Like, Yes, to a certain degree, the amount of effort that you put in is what you're going to get out to a certain degree, but you have to do it correctly. You know what I mean? Or you're just going to burn yourself out. You can make an analogy with this with pickup as well, right? It's like if a guy is sitting in his house, he doesn't have a girlfriend, no girls are talking to him, nothing. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to approach 7 hours a day, all day, 7 days a week. Like, that's probably not going to be as good as still continuing to do his normal habits, socializing with people normally, doing 5-6 hours a week of good concentrated effort, learning how to leverage the results that he's getting, going through the full process. It's like you're not going to solve your issue that you spent 10 years creating in a month just because you worked harder and did 7 days a week. You're probably going to burn yourself out, and just keep going on this up and down, whatever. So it's like, you don't need to work out 7 days a week. There's no additional benefit to doing it. It's just like, honestly, the best way to speed up your workout results, and I'm very open about this, is to use extra, chemicals, supplements, performance enhancing drugs. Like if you're looking for an edge, and you're already doing the training, at least 4 or 5 days a week as hard as you can, and the diet is perfect, only supplements, chemicals, and drugs are going to speed up the process any faster than that. It's not going to be any more work on your part. Like there's a certain amount of work that a natural human body can handle. The only way to increase that load is to use something from outside to enhance yourself. Then you can train more, harder, and do everything faster, which is what someone for a movie preparing for a role. They use testosterone, they use growth hormone, they use things to speed up the process. But on your own, you're not gonna hack your body. You're not gonna change your body. You're just gonna burn yourself out.
We do not support the use of exogenous testosterone on this show. Nobody here has ever touched testosterone. We don't fuck with it. No, everybody here knows I've been blasting for a while. Now, here's something interesting. This is good. Let's get into this. So I'm gonna be on test forever, right? I don't do bodybuilder doses. I ran the math the other day. I think I'm at about like 200 or something milligrams per week. My last test, I'm usually hovering at around like 1,000, for my testosterone levels. Now let's take a guy. This is something I've been curious about. Let's take a guy that does blast. He decides he's going to go 400, 500 milligrams a week. He's going to do bodybuilder doses. 600, I know, is often common. Can a dude, we take some skinny little shit, some scrawny kid watching this right now. He does it all. He does really great diet, healthy, heavy calorie, heavy carb, really good workout, blast test, 3 months, and he really significantly looks better. Let's give him 6 months. This guy's now like, all right, I'm doing this shit now. Now, let's say that dude now wants to get off because, most people are not going to live on test for a long time. Does that baseline muscle that he has now created in his body with the use of exogenous testosterone, will he be able to keep 50, 70% of that physique, 80% of that physique? Can he keep this physique going back to his now, let's say he was a normal testosterone level guy, can he keep the physique?
Yes, but there's a lot of different caveats to this. So there's a natural limit to the amount of muscle that you can carry. For me and you, we're both 5'11", right? So that's going to be somewhere around like 180, 190 pounds. You're not really going to be any bigger or more muscular than that on normal levels of testosterone. So if you're 160 pounds and you use testosterone to get to 180, 190 pounds, you can stay there. If you use it and you get up to 230 pounds, like I'm 230 pounds right now, right? So like if I just stop taking everything, am I gonna, continue to look like this? Like, no, nobody naturally looks like this. I look like a balloon animal. I'm gonna, slowly shrink back to normal person size. I'm gonna slowly shrink back to 100. Well, I might not be 190 pounds. Maybe I'll be 195 or 200, but it's like you're always going to go back down to what you would have looked like naturally anyway. So if the goal for guys is to just get a better physique, I would say that, it's plenty good to just train naturally. Don't use hormones, reach your natural limit. And then if you're not happy with that, then you're going to have to consistently be on hormones in order to consistently have a better physique than your maximum natural physique.
And why not? Why not be on hormones forever? Who gives a shit? Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at all the studies and I've done so much research into this before like diving headfirst into it myself. I can honestly say that from everything I know, there's really not that much of a health risk to being on 200 to 250 milligrams of testosterone, which you could maintain a physique like I have on 200, on like one shot a week, like 250 milligrams. You could like, I built up to 230. I could probably chill at 220 on 250 milligrams a week. And I have done it for like 6-7 months at a time before blasting again. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but you can maintain a super physiological, because that is super physiological still. Like the normal man is not producing even 200. They're producing more like 70, 80 a week.
Yeah.
So I don't see any detriment honestly to being on TRT for life, other than the fact that probably a lot of guys don't want to do it. But health wise, like, I mean, have you had any health, issues? You've been on TRT for years.
No, for me, the only thing is whenever I just had one situation in life where I was away from my anastrozole. And just to share with the audience, one thing I want to say to the audience real quick is because there's some people listening right now that are definitely checking out, right? They're like, I don't really care about like steroids and all this kind of stuff. But there's a lot of guys listening right now that they do not know their testosterone levels, and that is insane. There are guys that I fucking meet and I'll tell them now that I'm so open about me being on test, I'll be very comfortable now telling guys, being like, bro, I can, you have low T for sure. It's like fucked up, but I can hear it. I can see it. I can just feel it that these guys have it because I've lived it and now don't live that anymore. So first off, anybody listening, go get your testosterone levels checked. It's a big deal. You can choose the natty route or the not natty route after, but go find out where you're at with testosterone. I want to say that first. And secondly, I have seen nothing but positive. When you take testosterone, some people, and we had a great discussion about this the other day, some people, and a lot of it is based on how much body fat you have, some people have to take a supplemental drug called an aromatase inhibitor, essentially keeping your estrogen from going up with the testosterone. Now, I was away from my aromatase inhibitor one summer by accident because I ordered some bunk ass product. And dude, I was like fucking suicidal out in the middle of the desert in Arizona and shit. It was crazy. But I overnighted some stuff. I was good. I was good to go. And a little bit of chest acne. I would say some chest acne and a little bit of hair thinning. I've had a little bit of hair thinning. I for sure noticeably had like girls used to touch my hair and be like, "Oh my God, your hair's so thick." I had the hair of a child, you know? And now it's a little thinner, but it's still beautiful and luxurious. So other than that, literally zero negative side effects, only positive. I feel more masculine. I feel more grounded. I'm physically stronger, kind of just more definition. And I think that a lot of it will have to sometimes do with how much coffee I'm drinking and stuff like that. I'm really big into adrenal fatigue. I don't know how familiar you are with adrenal fatigue, but I do find that my baseline energy is much higher since I've been on testosterone over the years. So, I mean, dude, I'm 30 years old right now. I'm gonna be 50. I'm gonna be 60. I'm gonna be 70. These guys are out here 60 years old on test, living a phenomenal life. They're in great shape. They're on a boat somewhere out in Tahiti, right? And then you got other 60-year-olds that are rotting away in front of the television. And a lot of that's going to come down to career choices, life partner. But what if you just don't know why you don't feel the same way you used to feel? You don't feel good. You don't have energy to do any of these things that maybe you consciously know would improve your life. get on some fucking tests, man.
Not just 60, man. And like, I get what you're saying. This isn't a TRT podcast. And I know a lot of guys have like a negative conception of this kind of stuff. And probably a lot of guys are going to come on here and be like, who is this fucking bald guy, steroid abuser or whatever. Like, that's
That's what
fine.
I was thinking when we hopped on here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine. But like that's the case here. But
Yeah.
ultimately, dude, I know a lot of guys who are in their 20s. Now, like you're talking about 60-year-olds. I know guys who are in their 20s that definitely have low T, that will not address it, that will probably come on this podcast and comment and make fun of me and say I'm like a steroid abuser and blah, blah, blah. But they, barely have the energy to get off the couch. They can't get their fucking dick hard. And even if they could, they don't have like the motivation to go out there and get shit done in life. Testosterone levels, this has been well studied, like have been plummeting for the last like 50, 60 years. Like your testosterone levels, if you're listening to this right now, are not the same as your grandpa, your dad. Like there's so many different chemicals in the environment that cause disruptions with testosterone levels. Aaron's been open about the fact that he had low testosterone, didn't take any drugs, nothing had to happen to do it. It just happened because of environmental reasons, obesity, depression. There's so many different things that can cause your testosterone levels to be low. And I personally, think that if it's the difference between you living a high quality life or not, I'm willing to experiment with something that might be a little bit outside the box. That's just me. I don't want to, I'm not trying to convince anybody to do that. I'm very much for living life to the fullest, really pushing everything as far as I can. And of course I want to be healthy and safe. You know what I mean? Like I'm not 300 pounds, but I want to be enhanced in all aspects and get the most that I can out of life. And I'm telling a lot of guys listening here, if you have problems with women, you could have pretty shitty game, but if you have a 6-pack and you're 200 pounds ripped with muscles and you take some decent pictures and post them online, I'm not saying you're going to be Casanova. You might not have the results that Aaron has, but you'll be doing better. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah. And to your point too about just living an optimal lifestyle, there is so much in medicine that either they used to say things were good for you that now they say, oh, absolutely these aren't, or the medical community has turned their back on a lot of medications and all of this. One of the things that Donald Trump did is he passed this bill that doesn't really get talked about enough, but this bill or executive order or something called the Right to Try Act. And what that is that basically when you start going to hospitals under the supervision of Western medicine, right, it will now become illegal for them to administer any sort of more holistic approaches or anything that hasn't been run through the whole system of the FDA and whatever. And Trump basically passed this whole thing that was like, no, it's your body, you're the one dying, and we're going to allow you to get access to these experimental treatments that people swear up and down save their life for years and years. So you've got that. Then on the other hand, you've got doctors used to prescribe cigarettes for anxiety, right? I mean, this is the world we've lived in for years where there's so much flip-flopping in medicine. And what you said about the testosterone levels plummeting in the last 50 years, bro, yeah. I mean, watch a fucking documentary from World War II. Look at these like 18, 19-year-old dudes. These were like grown-ass men. 18, 19-year-old dudes running around now, they still kind of look like girls. They got a fucking hoop earring in, something hanging down. They're listening to MGK, right? They're just squirting all day in their bedroom. I mean, it's a different time. And to your point, I'm gonna live a fucking phenomenal life. And guess what? If it came out that Tess was gonna kill me at 70 and otherwise I was gonna live to 90, bring it on, baby. Let's go. I don't need that extra 20 years of rotting in front of the TV, dead and withered. What am I going to do? Look at the sun and have gratitude every day? I want to live a great life while I can. And there's still not even much evidence that testosterone is going to lower your lifespan in any way. And I do believe that now seeing the rise of so many of these teleclinics that get approved, clinics in general, so many TRT specific doctors in the world, I do think that, I mean, hopefully it becomes more accepted. But then on the other hand, you've got radical feminism where the word testosterone actually is a danger to their culture and their cause. And now they kind of run the government. So a lot of issues there.
I am not trying to make the case in any of my content or my opinion at all that testosterone is something that is good because it's masculine or manly or will make you more manly or whatever. I'm not trying to make like a gender case here. I do think that it is stigmatized on many different sides, and it is illegal for absolutely no reason. I don't think that it should be illegal. I don't, it's well documented that testosterone does not make men more aggressive. It does not make them more sexually aggressive. If you have low testosterone and you bring it up to a baseline of normal or high normal, you will see personality changes, but that's because you were deficient. But there have been many studies where they gave guys up to 600 milligrams of testosterone, which is like 10 times more than anyone would produce naturally. Their sex drive did not go up any more than 125 milligrams. Their aggression did not go up more. Some guys experience like some kind of androgen mania, like roid rage, but that's like a very, very small percent of guys have like it interact with their brain in some way that causes them to become more aggressive. But for the majority of guys, the only thing that happened was that they just built more muscles and their cholesterol profile was worse. So like, I just think it's very important to divide testosterone and any sort of hormone from like, you know, this sort of stigma, like, oh, I have high test, so I'm a bigger man than you. Look at these muscles. Like, I don't think that at all. Like, I only take testosterone because it makes me feel really good. It gives me more motivation and energy. It gives me more energy in the gym. It helps with my goals. Not because I want to be more manly than anybody else. I think we're all equally man, whether you're injecting yourself with shit or whatever. We're all men. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what your testosterone level is.
What are you, when you're not training for something specific or wanting to bulk or anything like that, what do you cruise at? What's like your just living dose?
250 honestly is like really good for me. People
Okay.
call that like a sports TRT, like for bodybuilders.
Yeah.
I'll go as low as 200. I never really go below 200 just because like I just don't feel like I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
250 is great. I feel great on it. I look honestly better when I take less than when I take more. Like taking more is good for building muscle and stuff like that. But like right now I'm taking about 600 and like I'm a little bloated. Like my face is a little bloated. Everything gets a little blown up. If you see pictures of me where I'm like really chiseled and like really looking good,
Mhm.
I'm usually running lower testosterone, like around 250, and maybe I'll throw in like a Primobolan or Masteron to like harden up. So I would say that like the fitness models and influencers and stuff like that, they generally run lower testosterone because it doesn't necessarily make you look super handsome. Like the more you take, it kind of with the estrogen and everything can like blow you up a little, but it does definitely increase strength the more you take.
Now there's always massive controversy with all of these fitness influencers. Are they natty? Are they not? They all say they are, whatever. And I remember Kino Body in particular, he went to this doctor and he like got his testosterone results that day, whatever. And to anybody that knows that world, we all know that that's just like doesn't matter at all. I can come off of tests for a week and have my numbers drop low. It doesn't matter. The point, what I really wanted to ask was because on your episode of the podcast, the episode that we did on your podcast, you were telling me a little bit about growth hormone and and you said that a lot of actors, pretty much all actors, are on growth hormone now when they're cutting for roles and things like that, getting really ripped. Now, will growth hormone itself, like just solo protocol of that, is that going to naturally raise tests, or is growth hormone kind of separate from that system and going to be benefiting you in other ways?
So yeah, this is something I'm like very passionate about getting this information out there. It's definitely a little bit dense. So, if you guys are interested, definitely buckle up. You could learn a lot, but like listen closely because this took me a while to wrap my head around. Okay.
Hell yeah.
There's three hormones in the body that have to do with the way that you look, basically. I mean, there's a lot that have to do with the way that you look, but in terms of muscle growth and what we're talking about, there are growth hormone, testosterone, and insulin. They all work together, okay? Insulin triggers growth hormone to turn into IGF-1, which is actually the most powerful muscle building hormone, not testosterone. Testosterone also increases IGF-1 as well. So the higher your IGF-1 goes, the bigger that your muscles grow, and everything responds to IGF-1. You need growth hormone, testosterone, and insulin to create that effect. Growth hormone burns fat, okay? Growth hormone releases stored body fat. If I inject growth hormone, body fat is released immediately. If I go do cardio, like after injecting my growth hormone, body fat is burned immediately. So like it's very good at releasing stored body fat. When you do intermittent fasting, your growth hormone goes up a lot. And then if you're active during that time, you're fasted for longer and your growth hormone is higher for longer. So your body's going to burn more fat during those phases when you're fasted. When you see someone like Kino Body, he fasts for up to 20 hours a day. He's always ripped because his growth hormone is constantly through the roof. I would not be surprised if he takes growth hormone injections. I would not be surprised if he's on TRT. I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying there's really no reason for somebody like that not to do a little bit of those things just to optimize everything. Maybe he just has it naturally, but though anyway, whether he's injecting it or not, he has testosterone levels that are, making him be more muscular. He has growth hormone levels that are very high due to his fasting that are making him have low body fat, right? So insulin is important when building muscle. So within the eating window, you're eating carbohydrates, which spike your insulin. You have growth hormone in the blood. When the insulin goes up from eating the carbohydrates, the growth hormone gets converted to IGF-1 in the liver. The growth hormone is active in the system. Insulin goes up because of carbohydrates. IGF-1 is converted in the liver. You build muscle, you're anabolic. You stop eating, your everything comes down, your stomach clears out, growth hormone starts to rise again. Does that make sense?
That's amazing. Yeah. I was trying not to laugh a minute ago because I remember my buddy was telling me that he was thinking about shooting insulin at one point. Like he's not a diabetic or anything, but he was about to like get on insulin. But that is dense, and that's amazing. And that is one thing that when I hear about IGF-1, that's something that I never do enough research on. How can somebody like me I guess I'll just say like normal, right? Like I've only ever heard this. My brother's type 1 diabetic, so I'm familiar with insulin and all that process of the pancreas and everything. How can just like a normal person increase IGF-1 to assist with the muscle building and fat loss?
Well, IGF-1 is going to be muscle building. Growth hormone is going to be fat loss, right? So the best time, when you get the most IGF-1 is going to be post-workout. Post-workout, when you do like a heavy squat or heavy lifting, your body releases growth hormone. Then after your workout, you eat carbohydrates and protein. Like people talk about the anabolic window. You want to have a protein shake after your workout, right? You also want to have carbohydrates with that protein to spike insulin. Your growth hormone's already high because you worked out. Now you have carbs and protein. Protein stimulates muscle building target of rapamycin, mTOR, that's like the thing. Leucine is the amino acid that switches on, like, okay, build muscle. And then the insulin comes in, the growth hormone's already high because you worked out, it releases IGF-1. This all happens naturally. A bodybuilder, like a professional bodybuilder, like you're talking about somebody taking insulin, they would take growth hormone after their workout, then 30 minutes later they would take insulin, and then they would eat, creating a high, dose of IGF-1. But, you do this completely naturally. You don't need to take it, right? So that is like the biggest thing. That is why people say, around your workout is the time when you build the most muscle. The more times you can stimulate these muscle building mechanisms, the faster and the better that you will put on muscle. So theoretically, the more times you can train, the more times you can eat protein and carbohydrates, the faster you'll build muscle. Now, of course, you have a limited amount of time in the day. Your body systems are limited. So if all you do is eat protein and carbohydrates, you could start storing body fat if you don't train enough. So like you're saying, it's like the input-output thing. You need it to match your training. The food should always match the training. So if you're training 4 times a week, you won't need a ton of protein and carbs. If you're training 6, 7 times a week, you'll need a ton of protein and carbs. So, it really, you have to, that's why it helps to work with a coach. If you don't know what you're doing, everything can be set up perfectly to have you can lose fat and build muscle at the same time. If you wake up, you do your fasted cardio, burning off the fat, there's nothing stopping you from burning it off. Then you eat calories within your maintenance, so you're not gaining or losing weight. But after the workout, you have your growth hormone spike, you get the IGF-1 spike with the protein and the carbs, you're building muscle during that time. So that's how you build muscle and lose fat at the same time. And if anyone's interested, I did a transformation this year where I built muscle and lost fat, a ton of muscle and lost fat at the same time. And I have the pictures to prove it. I have clients that have done it. It's definitely possible, but everything needs to be perfect. Every system needs to be optimized. So it's hard for people to do, especially if you're just willy-nilly, like whatever, eating whatever, then you're not going to achieve that. But once you understand how the body works, you understand how the hormones work, how they, relate to food, how they relate to training, you could do whatever you want, really, within the limits of biology.
That's amazing, man. That's really good stuff. I'm gonna rewatch this episode. This is this is good content. So are you pro fasted cardio? Is that something that you usually will give to your clients and that you do?
Yeah, so the research on fasted cardio is that it's not any more efficient than fed cardio. People say, it doesn't matter whether you work out fasted or after you ate, the energy expenditure over the day will equal out. That is 100% true, unless you take something to release fat that can only release fat when you're fasted. Like growth hormone, if you're not taking growth hormone, there's over-the-counter stuff you could take, like yohimbine, for example. Yohimbine releases body fat as well. It's a stimulant as well. So, and it only works in a fasted state. If insulin is in the blood, yohimbine will not work. It'll cancel it out, right? So you can take things when you're fasted that release body fat and allow you to burn more of it off. That's why bodybuilders do fasted cardio, because they always take something that they can only take while they're fasted, like growth hormone and yohimbine, in order to release and burn more fat. If you're not taking anything before the fasted cardio and your blood sugar is low, you can do your workout out. You can do your cardio after your workout, whatever. But the reason why fasted is best is if you're using something to supplement it, you can burn fat a lot faster if you do it fasted.
I have 5 milligram capsules of yohimbine. I was taking them there for a little while. I actually kind of even forgot I have them up in the cupboard. So would you say wake up, maybe pop that capsule in half, maybe get back into it, the 2.5, something like that, for a few days, and then do like a good steady state kind of cardio in the morning, and that's going to be pretty effective for fat loss?
Yes. Well, so for fat loss cardio, you want to have an elevated heart rate around 120, but you don't want it to be too high, because if you do it too intense, you'll start burning muscle glycogen, which you don't really have since you're on keto anyway, and then your workouts are going to suffer even more. So you want to work up a sweat, but you don't want to be like sprinting or anything like that. Like you said, good low intensity, build up a sweat, 30 minutes to an hour. Also, the thing with cardio, though, you don't want to just jump into 7 days a week. Start 30 minutes 3 times a week. Next week, do 4 times 30 minutes. Next, to then just keep it there. You know what I mean? Like just slowly bring the cardio in. Use yohimbine every time before you do it. You'll see big changes in the diet. Especially if you're not doing cardio now, it's going to make a big difference.
Awesome, bro. Well, hey man, we'll wrap up. This was a lot, dude. We gotta have you back on. I feel like you're a well of this knowledge. I feel like it goes so much deeper than even what we covered.
I'm obsessed with this shit, man. I live this stuff every day. I just sometimes I'll just chill on PubMed and just read like a ton of studies. I'm just like really interested in manipulating physiques, you know what I mean? Like no holds barred, whatever gets you the results, like I'm about it. So if guys want to know more about it, if they're interested in coaching or whatever, like I help people set up the programs just like the same way that I'm talking. Everything is optimized. Everything is perfect for your goal. Whatever you're willing to do, I'm not going to push you to take steroids. I'm not going to push you to take yohimbine or growth hormone or anything. Whatever you're comfortable doing within, even if you only are comfortable with a keto diet, within the parameters of your lifestyle, like we'll make it happen. We'll get you the best results. I appreciate you having me on, man. And I would love to talk more about it. You know, there's tons of different stuff, and I'm just trying to put the information out there to help people get the physiques that they want, man. Cause life's too short to not be big and ripped. Like, why are you walking around like skinny fat when we have so much technology out there? You know, we have so much knowledge out there that we can use to our disposal. And what really pisses me off is people doing dumb shit when it's like, we know, like we didn't know 50 years ago how to do these physique transformations so efficiently and so easily. We just didn't have the knowledge. But now, like, there's people out there that know, we know all the body systems, the hormones, we know everything. So it's just like, why, how, like, I don't understand how people are still walking around skinny fat. It shouldn't be happening. So I'm trying to be that change.
I talk about this all the time in my mastermind group. I want to experience game at my final form. So over the years, I've been able to, even before I had my gynecomastia surgery and I had man boobs and shit, I was still able to hook up with hot chicks. It's been game. It's been this crazy upward, like uphill fucking battle forever now. And now it does come a lot more seamlessly to me, but I want to experience what it's like to walk into a bar and the chick that I'm going to try to game here in like 15 minutes already looks at me, sees my jacked body, and just kind of puts me in that category of like, oh, I would fuck that guy. And now I'm going up and gaming that girl, right? I want to experience game on easy mode. And, you know, just in life, even recently, kind of deciding whether or not I want to be with like certain girls and stuff. I'm like, I gotta wait. I gotta experience what it's like to walk in there with that fucking six pack, to be at the pool party in Vegas with the six pack. I got to experience it, man. And so this content and everything else I'm going to start watching on your channel is going to help me to get there.
I can tell you guys honestly, just, you know, I was into game for a long time, and I can tell you guys, like, once you get the physique dialed in, like, not like I'm looking right now. Right now I'm in an off season, but like once you get it just dialed in, like perfect physique for you, it's like Aaron said, like you can get laid, you can get success with girls and stuff like that without barely even having to open your mouth, because you start to represent the picture, you know, that the girls see as like the stud or whatever, however you want to call it, whatever. So it's like when you're that guy, it's like you don't have to talk your way through it. Like you just are that. You walk into the room and it's just like, this guy's fucking jacked, he's ripped, he, you know, obviously you can't like be in like some dirty shirt or something, you just wear your normal clothes or whatever, have it all put together. But it definitely brings things to another level. And online, obviously I think that's really where it makes the biggest difference.
Oh, I can't wait for my first shirtless online photos. I might even doctor up some current shirtless photos and just see what the fuck happens, you know? But no, yeah, I can't wait for that. It just says so much about a person too. There's something that we're attracted to that's not even sexual, just about that, right? It's just like when somebody's in amazing shape, guy or girl, you know, I've been kind of talking about this a lot lately too. Like I just am obsessed with fitness girls. Not even, you know, give me some slim, slender bikini model looking chick. Like that's hot for sure. But I'm just like, these girls that go to my gym and they just work out really hard. And I'm just so turned on by it. It says so much about a person. So it works on 10 levels because you're going to immediately be more physically attractive. You're going to immediately command more respect from any room you're in. You're going to feel better, energy, charisma, everything is going to be coming out of you. You're going to feel good about the accomplishment. I mean, it's so much. And so, you know, I've definitely been comfortable for a while. I take my shirt, you know, I fucking get naked, no problem with these chicks. You know, it's fine. I've been comfortable for a long time with my body, but now I want to be like fucking pumped about my body. So that way these little thoughts are too. So yeah, bro, it's Elon Muscular with a K on Instagram, correct?
So my IG handle's the Elon Muscular. Sadly, I couldn't get Elon Muscular. Some idiot took it. He has no followers. I don't know. Report him if you hear this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go on a campaign.
Yeah, but it's like you would spell, Elon Musk, just, fill it out, Muscular, the Elon Muscular, check it out. I have a YouTube channel. I'm doing like basic stuff, how to get a six pack, how to get blah, 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 how to structure your workouts. And I also do some hardcore stuff too. I have some pro bodybuilders on there. So if you're interested in, the dark side of the sport or whatever, just you have a morbid curiosity, I do too. So definitely check it out, guys.
Awesome. All right, bro. Thanks for being on. We'll have you back on soon.
Thanks, man. It's been a pleasure.